Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything you need to know inside Minecraft. This is the third time we're recording this intro because both myself and my guest can't seem to fathom making an intro, if that's the right word to use. But this should be podcast number 32, I believe. A few podcasts ago, we surpassed the last podcast weekly uploading streak, and we are going to surpass it by so much more because I've had a good few guests on. This is also another amazing guest who has specifically asked me to intro them as not Australian, but has an Australian name, is also a Papega, but not a viewer Papega, or like YouTube viewer Papega, more like a Twitch streamer Papega. Laqqy!
Look, okay, saying that I'm not Australian, ask me not to introduce me as an Australian is just as bad as calling me an Australian, okay? Look, my name's Laqqy. It's good to meet y'all for the first time. If you know who I am, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much, Insane, for having me on this podcast. I'm very excited to talk about stuff and Minecraft and MCC Rising.
So that's a much better intro. There we go. So you've warmed up a little bit now, you know?
A little bit, I suppose. You know, let's get this thing on the road.
Considering... oh, yeah, go on.
We've been trying to do this for like probably 2-3 months now. And we're finally here. And it feels good.
Yeah, because I think it was back in May, because I missed out that weekend that I went for my birthday. I missed out on both Minecraft Mayhem and 24-hour SMP. And after finding out about the 24-hour SMP, because I was still relatively new to the community, I got in contact with you. And I said, yo, like, would you ever like to come on the podcast? But obviously, you were busy, you had holidays and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of just kept getting pushed back. And then I contacted you a little while back, and I said, okay, I'm pretty pre-booked ahead, but can you do this day? And then you said yes. And I accidentally double booked this week, actually, like back then, and then I obviously pushed, next week's guests. They moved back a week, which is really nice of them to do. I mean, to be fair, they were busy this week as well, so. But it's good timing because obviously, we have more to talk about now with MCC Rising being announced.
Oh yeah, dude, that's so exciting. I'm so excited to see who gets picked.
My team's getting picked.
Oh yeah, your PowerPoint, the purple PowerPoints.
Yeah, which you didn't actually remember until I mentioned it just before we did the podcast.
I remembered it.
Those deep breaths must have helped, huh?
I have had probably 200 people ask me to watch their applications on stream. And to remember whose application is whose is quite a difficult task. So just because I didn't remember it like right off the bat doesn't mean I forgot your application. I mean, it was smooth with the cars and the PowerPoint. It was good.
I'm only joking with you, anyways. But with the MCC Rising thing as well. So this podcast is coming out on the 11th of August. We delayed it. We were meant to be recording this on the 31st of July. However, I pushed it back 2 days because I was unwell. So in an ideal world, Laqqy, this podcast is coming out on the day that the second set of teams are announced. Assuming they announce the teams 2 weeks before MCC Rising.
Right. Well, they kind of have to. They kind of have to give that time. So that's like a good estimate.
Yeah, exactly. But if not, ideally, once again, people who are in MCC Rising would have found out by now anyways. So this is a good podcast for you, because obviously applications closed last week, for you to kind of explain. Once we get into it, we're not going to get into it now because I like to do things in sections. I kind of like keep it organized. But this is a good podcast for you to kind of give your advice being an ex-MCC Rising player. So...
You know what? I've been itching to give any bit of advice and tell my MCC story for the longest time. I'm so excited to do that here today. Oh my goodness. Let's go. But yeah, like what specifically would you like to know?
So, well, I mean, like I said, we're gonna kind of keep it in format of the podcast of how we do it. I've said this on a previous podcast. I went through a phase of like being a bit worried of keeping the same format I keep for everyone, but then I kind of feel like everyone has different answers, so keeping the same format isn't a problem at all. If
it works, it works.
Yeah. Exactly. So, before we get into talking about your past, and not back to when you were a child, Laqqy, don't worry, I don't want to hear or any trauma if any of it exists. Maybe you want to do a bit of a better introduction than not Australian sounds Australian, but has an Australian name.
Yeah, I would love to.
So, can you tell everyone who you are, what you do, all that kind of jazz?
Well, my name's Laqqy, as you know, not Australian. I'm a streamer on Twitch. I've been streaming since December 2020, I believe, and it's been amazing. I love streaming. My favorite thing as a streamer, I love streaming. I stream anything from MCC Island to hardcore. I like to sprinkle in events here and there because I am a bit of a competitive player. I actually started on YouTube back in 2011. My first ever content was a Club Penguin video of me showing off my igloo in Club Penguin in 2011. And I think ever since then, I've fallen in love with just creating content. It's my hyperfixation. I'm almost like a content creator perfectionist, where if I don't feel like it's perfect, I don't even want to like waste my time on it. So that's also like a gift and a curse, though, you know, like needing everything that you upload to be perfect, it kind of delays the content.
I guess with that being said, then I do have a question. This isn't to put you on the spot, Laqqy. With the whole like perfectionist thing, with like you wanting stuff to do well and you only really want to not really put time into it if you know it's going to be good, but you get what I'm saying there. Does that kind of apply to other people's channels, i.e. the podcast as well? Like if you like, obviously I assumed that when I invited you on the podcast, part of it you saying yes is because you knew me, and second, like the second part of it, I assume you probably did have a look to see how the podcast is. I could be wrong in assuming that. I know like when I had Anvenom on the podcast, he said he looked at a few episodes, he looked at the podcast, so it was quite professional and stuff, and that's why he chose to come on. Would you say like if the podcast was a bit like you watched it and you was like, hey, this doesn't really seem professional, it seems a bit scrappy, all that kind of stuff, would you have maybe not decided to come on? Or
no, I still would have came on just because like you're a friend and like we have a bunch of mutual friends. I really don't mind if like it's professional or not. If it's not my content, if someone ever asks me for help with their content, it doesn't matter if I think it's the best content in the world or if it's just like, you know, a passion project. I'll still help out. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, I gave it a look before, of course, and I obviously I do think it looks professional, it looks great, but that wasn't like a a maker, like a deal breaker for me or anything.
I got you. I was just wondering if it applied to like the other channels as well, or just yours. But that's fair.
No.
I guess then moving on from the very, very good intro, Laqqy, thank you for letting us know about your Club Penguin videos in the past and stuff. That was very interesting. Let's talk about more of that past. So, you said you got started on YouTube back in 2011, you said, right?
Indeed, correct.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I was about to say, if I already forgot that, it's really bad. So you got started on YouTube. Was this under the Laqqy name, or was this under a different name?
You know what? No, I did not get the Laqqy name until I think 2016. It was either 2016 or 2017. No. My first ever username, I don't think I've ever said this publicly. My first ever online username was eggs54.
Eggs, like EGGS.
Yes, like huevos. Yes, like eggs.
Okay.
Like chicken eggs.
Yeah.
And I'm not as much embarrassed of the name as much as I am like ashamed of it, because I could have picked a much better name than eggs. You know, like I don't even like eggs that much. I like eggs, but I don't like eggs.
Okay. So do you remember what the deal was with the name?
Yes, I remember I was eating eggs that morning for breakfast, and I chose to make that my username.
I'm pretty sure that's somewhat close to Ham Sandwich's reason for his name. He said something about
That
like
is
a
so
ham
funny.
sandwich. Yeah, he said something about a ham sandwich, and that's why he got his name, and it kind of just stuck. So with the Eggs 54 alias from 2011 to 2016, you said you made Club Penguin content. Did you make anything else? Minecraft, Bin Weevils, anything else like that?
Oh yeah, I used to because I didn't have a computer back in the day, so I would have to upload things from like my tablet. I would upload a bunch of Clash of Clans videos of me just like attacking people and seeing how well I would do, like how much loot I would get, and like base building tutorials. I'll be completely. They were terrible videos. I don't know why anyone watched them. There was like those videos were the generic like kid trying to be a YouTuber but not knowing anything about video production kind of videos. So I'm glad of my personal growth as a content creator. I'm glad to see that I'm able to actually put forth content that is not terrible anymore.
It was a different time back then though as well. Like I think back in when did Fortnite first? Do you remember? Was it 2018 or 2016?
Had to have been 2017.
27, God, right in between. Okay, so like when Fortnite first came out, the videos wiped off the face of the earth. Like maybe you can if you hack into Google, but I doubt you can find it. I uploaded a Fortnite sniper montage on my YouTube channel. This was like 6 years ago. Yeah, my YouTube channel was created in 2016. So and then I uploaded it to that channel, and then deleted it when I started making Minecraft content. But I kind of wish I unlisted it now because it would have been fun to look back on. But yeah, them like I made like 4 Fortnite videos, and to be fair, they got like 100 views each somehow. But they've been wiped off the face of the earth now because it was different back then. You know, like you could kind of just upload and have fun on YouTube, whereas now it feels, and it's why I've stopped uploading serious videos on my main channel anymore, and why my main channel is essentially dead, is because it feels like you have to put in so much high quality effort now. You know?
Oh yeah, that goes back to like the perfectionist stuff. Like if you don't feel confident or if you don't like what you made, like it's hard to upload it. It's hard to upload it and have people like give feedback on something that you yourself don't like.
Well, I mean, I uploaded a video the other day, which is just, I think it's like a 3-minute montage of the new MCCI game, and it's just got Barbie music playing over it, and not the, like, but I'm a Barbie, not that one, like, just some, like, Barbie song, and I feel like it was just a pretty fun video to watch, but it flopped, obviously, it got, like, 250 views, and I have 37,000 subscribers.
It's not that bad.
I've changed my content a bunch, like, I get most of my subscribers from commands, and I went to Bedrock, and then I went to Hive, and I did really, really well then, and I moved to Java and stuff, but we're not getting into that anyway, so that's me, it's not about you, so,
Hey, man, if you want to talk about yourself, I want to hear more about you. Come on.
No, I can do that on a few podcasts. Maybe I can bring you back on and you can be the host.
Oh yeah, dude, the reverse podcast. Hell yeah.
Reverse podcast. Yeah. No, I'm just like, I was just kind of just saying that it's already too much to go into. I think I've talked about it publicly anyways on stream and stuff like that. So if anyone who wants to hear it, you can watch my streams. Oh my god. But 2016, give or take, you decided to change your name to Laqqy. So what's the deal with that name?
Well, in 2016, I was homeless. Yeah, homeless, yeah.
Oh, were you actually? Oh.
Yeah, I was actually homeless, and I ended up moving in with my grandparents because, it's obviously not safe for kids to be homeless.
Well, yeah.
And she lived in the middle of nowhere. My grandmother lived in the middle of nowhere. And the internet where we lived was so bad that no matter what Minecraft server I connected to, I had a constant 700 ping.
Okay.
There was constantly like a 3 to 5 second delay on every Minecraft server, like Hypixel, Bad Lion. It was so bad that I had like a reputation on these servers for being a laggy guy. So someone suggested just like make my name Laqqy, like it's laggy with Q's, easy. Like that was popular back in the day.
That's actually sick. Yeah, that's actually a sick origin name. What the heck?
Hell yeah. But ever since then, I've moved out. I'm an adult now. I have better internet. In fact, I have gigabit internet. So I'm the opposite of Laqqy, but I can't change the brand now. Like 5-6 years into the bit.
Well, it's a good brand like Laqqy as well. Like because you have that name on Twitch, just Laqqy. Like that's crazy.
Well, it's with 3 Qs. So crazy. My first Twitch account with 2 Qs, right? But I lost the password and the email to that, and now Twitch won't give it back to me, saying that the account is still active, which doesn't make sense because I haven't logged into it in like 5 years.
Have you tried recently asking Twitch?
I try asking every 4 months.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Twitch are a little bit useless.
Twitch is a little bit silly. I don't really know what goes on in their brains. I don't think that anyone knows what goes on in Twitch's brains.
If only you could prove there was your account.
Yeah, I wish.
Are you good to touch a bit more on that homeless thing, or do you not want to talk about it? We can.
Well, I don't know how like deep you want to get into it, but my mother was a heavy drug user, and would spend most of our money on drugs. So it was to the point where we lost our home because of it.
Do you want to keep that in, or do you want me to cut that out?
I don't really mind. I don't live with her anymore, so I don't really care about talking about her.
Well, when you became homeless, did you at least get your stuff with you, or did you have to restart from the bottom?
I only got to bring my Xbox. I used to have a bunch of video games and like a bunch of like toys that I loved. I would play with Beyblade, Pokemon cards, Bakugan, like all like this nerdy shit that I used to love. When we moved, I lost all of it. Like I just didn't get to keep any of it, but I did get to keep my Xbox and like my DS and a tablet. Those were the 3 things that I like have kept ever since.
It's kind of
even now. I think I lost that Xbox. I think it's like someone stole it.
No, it's kind of crazy how you went from that 7 years ago to where you are now with like you're averaging about 90 viewers on Twitch, or 70 to 90. Your Twitch partner, I'm assuming you have a job. I think you mentioned on stream that you have a job as well. So you kind of turn things around, which is really nice to see. I'm glad you turned things around. That's really sick.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how bad of a situation you are in, like right now. Like shit can change in a matter of like a year, even 2 years. Like you can go from being homeless to being like a partner Twitch streamer. You just gotta put in a little bit of effort, bro. It's you don't know where your life is gonna take you.
That is the quote of all quotes right there. You can go from homeless to Twitch partner.
That is a quote of all. Put that on a plaque and ship it to the museum.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the YouTuber Your Boy Action.
I've heard of them.
So I had them on the podcast last year, and they like not a similar story to being homeless, but they had like a similar story of like being like in a really tough spot with everything, and then kind of bringing it all back to where they are today. So I kind of like stories like that, and that's why I asked if it was fine for me to keep that in, because I think it's just nice to add, like, showing the podcast that you're so confident on the podcast. Like, obviously that's something I never knew. I'm assuming not many people, I mean, unless you've said it on stream or whatever, not many people know about it, and it's just something that like it happened to you, but you still oh, where you are today and you didn't let it affect you. And it's just to kind of show that, because like right now with content, with like YouTube, even Twitter now, Twitch and stuff, like my numbers are so low and stuff, and it's like it's not demotivating to the point where like I want to give up. It's just a bit sad to see, because how I like streaming, not for the viewers but for like people to talk to me. So like when I have like low viewer counts, not many people talk, I find it a bit tough sometimes. So but it's also a case of like I'm still in a perfect position where like I have a job and stuff, and like, or well, not perfect, but I'm in a good position where I have like a job and all that kind of stuff and the support and stuff, and it's like, and you were that deep and that low, and then look at where you are now, kind of thing. And that's why I like to keep that kind of stuff in the podcast, and I'm glad. Thank you for letting me keep it in. I appreciate it.
Bro, don't look at where you are now. Just be grateful that you're in a position that you could grow to where you're at, or like where you want to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not letting it get me down, but like I'm allowed to feel a bit sad about it. But I'm saying, like,
of course, yeah.
Look at your, in quotation marks, struggles, and look at where you are now compared to what I'd class, what could be classed as me for struggles. Even though I just don't say it myself, I'm saying like that kind of idea there.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, back on track. So you got the name Laqqy. It was from the idea of you being laggy. Was this when you started making Minecraft content then, or did you make Minecraft content beforehand as well?
I did make Minecraft content before them. In between being Eggs54 and being Laqqy, I had the name Bro Bash, which is I don't want to talk about that era. That was such a cringy era. just that name alone is cringe.
Oh no.
But I used to upload like Minecraft Hunger Games videos, like Blitz SG back in, I'd say, 2015. Since I didn't have a computer back then, my mom is like, she used to work as like a cleaning lady, right? So she would take me to these places like a law firm, like an office for like lawyers to do their job, and they would have computers there. So I would hack into their computers because they would have their passwords like on a sticky note on their desk. I would log into their computers, download Minecraft and OBS, and no, it wasn't even OBS, it was Livecast-O-Matic. And I would record Hunger Games videos, edit them, and upload them within like the span of 2 hours, and then I would uninstall everything on the computer like I was never there.
You do that every single time? I
would do that every 2 weeks for every single video that I wanted to upload.
Bro Bash plays Hunger Games at the lawyer firm. That sounds like a good title.
Yeah, damn right. But it didn't last long, because eventually they ended up catching on that I was uploading Minecraft videos to their computer, and they like changed the password.
Oh, so there was no, did you get in trouble? Did anyone get in trouble? Or was it just...
No one got in trouble, but I wasn't able to upload for like 3 years after that.
Oh god. Okay, so what year was this then, give or take?
Say like 2014 to 2015.
Okay, so let's just say for the sake of it, 2015 then.
Yeah. Right.
And then so 2016, then you move in with your nan and play Minecraft, we can't upload. And then 2 years later, so what happened in those 2 years so you could start uploading in 2018?
Those 2 years were the dark ages.
Maybe we are going deep. I said we weren't going to go deep, but we really are now, aren't we? Oh, geez, okay.
That was the year that I dropped out of high school, because depression hit like a son of a gun.
Oh, crap. Fortnite?
Nothing. Don't worry. Nothing bad, but just like personal stuff. I think my dad got into a car accident. Like, he got hit by a car while he was walking home, and he was in the hospital for like a year. So I guess what started it up again was even though I didn't have the best of computer and the best of internet, I still decided like I still wanted to do this. I still wanted to become a content creator one day. So I decided, why not just start now? Get a few years of experience before I actually take it, seriously. You should learn some video editing, learn some communication skills, which is still something I got to work on. I don't feel like I'm the best communicator.
I think you're doing quite well.
However, it's not about like in that time, it wasn't about making the best videos. It was about having fun and like learning the skills so that one day, I could get where I am right now. And even now, I still have a bunch to grow. Like, it doesn't matter how big of like a creator you get, you can still learn more new skills, So I'm glad that I had that little bit of a head start in those 2 years. Even though they were the dark ages, there was a shining light at the end of the tunnel, which was Twitch partner.
So just before we did this podcast, I was watching Nebula stream, and I got him to play Nobody's Perfect from Hannah Montana 2 on stream. And I think that's very relatable to what you said there about like everyone makes mistakes and nobody's perfect. With the whole like always being able to learn. Like even Mr. Beast, like his videos are great, but there's always something he can do better. And he said that himself, like there's always something better.
I think that's where the perfectionist attitude comes back into play. Like you always want to do better and better and more and more. And sometimes that can actually like be detrimental to your mental health as a creator. But other times it really does prop you up and like give you a foot ahead of like the rest of the competition, you know? Like the best creators are always doing more and more and, you know, perfecting their craft.
Yeah, exactly.
And although, you know, I wouldn't consider myself to be like one of the front runners of the content creator game. You know, at least I have some skills, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So then where did everything take a turn for good? Let's get into the more positive stuff a little bit now. So where did everything kind of turn around? And I'm assuming this is probably MCC Rising, or was there something beforehand that led to...
Oh, no. MCC Rising was way later on.
Yeah, I was in 2021.
That was in 2020, late 2021. 2020... the end of 2020 to the beginning of 2021 was the best content creation. Yeah. COVID. The first year of COVID, I didn't do anything. I would play League of Legends and just like stay home and be a nerd.
Really missed out.
Pretty much, yeah. But at the beginning of 2021, I started to stream because one of my friends, I don't know if you know who they were. Their name was Jakishi.
That's not
yeah. So this was a bit before that, right?
Oh, that's not a good name to talk about.
Well, this is before anything of that went down. Okay, this is before when we were all in the dark.
That. Well, let's ignore that just for the podcast because you could have never known. You could have never known. So let's ignore what happened. Let's talk about them in this moment.
Right. They had an SMP called the Twitch SMP, and it was in their very first season.
It's run by Just Dash now, right?
Yeah. So they were like co-creators, like Dash and him ran it together. Because, you know, I was in a Just Dash SMP. My first ever YouTube series, actually, in 2018, was an SMP called Scorch SMP, which Dash also had ran. So fast forward like 3 years later, she runs the Twitch SMP, and I really wanted to join this SMP because it had a bunch of my friends in it. The only requirement was that you had to be a streamer, and I wasn't a streamer at this point. So I decided, you know what? Screw this YouTube thing. You know, Twitch looks pretty fun. I want to join this Twitch SMP with my friends. I just gave it a shot. And within the first 3 months of streaming, I got Twitch partner. And it's like, it was the perfect time to become a streamer. Like there was so much traffic on the website that I think it was like the first week of streaming, I hit 1K. And then the next 2 weeks I hit 10K. And that was just purely by the amount of like growth on the website itself. Like during the pandemic, there was so much like traffic on Twitch. I think that you can really just cut it down to I was just in the right place at the right time. Because if you tried to become a streamer now, it's the wrong time. It's the right place, but it's the wrong time.
Yeah, because during COVID, obviously I used to do Bedrock Edition content, and during COVID I was streaming daily, and I was averaging up to heights of 50, 60 viewers. I was going crazy, and now I average like 5. But then I also make Java content. I mean, and I went to work in 2022. I was working nights from July through to February before I left. So that was like a long time without making any content as well. So I think like that, and obviously the non-COVID kind of killed my channel. Well, not killed my channel, but like reduced my viewer counts as well as moving to Java. But yeah, COVID was definitely a good time to capitalize on content because that's when everyone was averaging like 50, 60,000 viewers on Twitch and stuff if you were making the right content.
Yeah. That's also something that I think about a lot is how the pandemic gave a terrible view to creators of like what success is. Because when everyone was home, everyone both, there was a lot of people to watch. There were a lot of viewers, like in almost like a overinflated amount of viewers. And they also had a lot more free time because everyone was like stuck at home to dedicate into their Twitch. But now that everyone, has their real lives to live, like, we all have school and jobs, and there's a lot less people on the website, it's going to feel a lot harder to grow on Twitch because you got to put in all of your free time for not as many viewers as you would get like maybe a year or two ago. Yeah. So it's caused a lot of people to quit, and you hate to see it, especially like when you really enjoy a streamer, or like when you have a friend who you really enjoy their content and you just like see them quit. It kind of hurts, for the people that do stay around and create content. It hurts.
Yeah, because with the COVID as well, but like agreeing with what you say here, the pandemic, it gave a lot of people, like, I won't say names of content creators, but a lot of content creators blew up during that COVID period for 2 years. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, they're famous now and they're still averaging a good amount of like views, but that's because they got those viewers and stuff during COVID, and it gives that unrealistic mindset of like, oh, if I start doing YouTube now, I could probably be the same as them in about a year. And it's like, it's not. Like, I've been doing this since 2019, 4 years now, and I'm I'm nowhere right now. Because you know, but it's then again, I also haven't. I did put in a grind set for a while, but not so much more. Not blaming my girlfriend here, but obviously once I get with her, I wanted to spend more time with her. And during COVID, obviously, I didn't have a girlfriend, and if I did, I wouldn't have ever been able to see her or anything. Anyway, just like it puts on that like unrealistic thing of like you said with the IRL stuff with like work, like because obviously I have a job now as well. Because I'm that age where during COVID I wasn't old enough, but now I'm old enough. So it's like a job, a girlfriend, real life, you know, family, that kind of stuff. So it's like like you said, it puts in that unrealistic idea of, oh yeah, I could become a content creator right now, put in all my time and be there in a year. But like the content creators who are there where they are now, some of them at least, were making content while they were in their online classes.
Exactly.
So,
and we can't quite do that anymore. You know, now that the world's opened back up, it's either you have to sacrifice. I heard this thing on Twitter where you can't have a good work or school life. You can't have friends and be a streamer all at the same time. Like you need to sacrifice at least one of them to make it successfully. And if you do somehow manage to balance all three of them, you know, props to you. You must have, you know, a perfect workload. But I've always struggled with keeping a friend group while being a content creator just because of how much time it takes up. Well, you know?
Yeah, I don't really have too many IRL friends, like not nowadays anyways, because I mean, to be fair, like one Monday ago I went out for work, but like I kind of more have online friends, but even in that kind of comes under the friends category of like you sometimes just want to be in a call chilling, you know, like us. I think we called. I know we weren't like talking about anything in specific, but we was in a call for like a solid half an hour before doing the podcast, and that's in a business world, that's half an hour of content lost, if that makes sense.
Exactly. You feel bad for not streaming or like editing or anything like that during that time.
Yeah, well, yeah, not really feel bad. It's just a half an hour lost, really. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And that's why I've kind of started prioritizing the podcast now, because I love this podcast. I absolutely adore this podcast so much. Because it's also a case of like, because it's something new, and because with my main channel, because I made command block tutorials and I made tutorial videos, I blew up so quickly. Like I went straight to 20,000 subscribers, 1 million viewers, everything. I was getting, my videos were getting anywhere between 20,000 and 100,000 views a video, and I blew up so quickly. And once again, that gave me that false mindset of once I make original content, it'll do well. And as soon as I started making normal content, in quotation marks, normal content, not to say tutorial isn't, but you get what I mean, then my views just dropped and stuff. And that's why the podcast is something new, it's something original, something that I can't change the content because it's a podcast, it's only a podcast. So, and because it's smaller,
you believe in it.
Exactly. And because it's smaller, I don't have that worry of it. I don't have that worry of like it being a big thing right now and it doing badly. It's like with my main channel, it's a big thing in quotation marks, but it's doing badly in quotation marks. Whereas the podcast is smaller, so it can do badly, if that makes sense.
I completely get that. Right. You don't want to like invest too much of like your hopes and dreams into a project just for it to not happen, right?
But the podcast is going to stick around. But yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's a passion project, but whereas my main channel, it started looking, at least when I was doing tutorials, it started looking like it could be a main job, and then now that that's gone, it's like, oh, that's a bit heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Whereas like the podcast is very much, it's just a passion project, and it will stay a passion project.
As long as you enjoy what you're doing, it's not gonna end. It's not gonna be pointless, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to get at there. Yeah. So during COVID, you got Twitch Partner, which was correct. Which was really crazy, and this was through actually Minecraft streaming. Was that through Twitch SMP, or were you doing other stuff as well?
I think I was doing a mix of Twitch SMP and Bed Wars because everyone was doing Bed Wars.
Everyone was doing Bed Wars, yeah.
Yeah. I was also doing Minecraft Manhunt. That was another big server back then because, you know, obviously that was everyone did manhunts. Everyone still does manhunts. Not as much anymore, but you get my point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that server was a lot of fun. What else did I do?
If you can't remember, it's fine. They can be, I mean, to be fair, that kind of sums it up quite well.
I think it was just those three, mainly those three.
And then eventually we moved into MCC Rising.
Okay. Yeah, so, that's true. We did indeed. A year on, we went into MCC Rising. That's true.
So this is where we now transition into the present. I know 2021 MCC Rising is in the present, but we're transitioning because, believe it or not, Laqqy, this is why I love the podcast. We've been recording for 34 minutes.
Good God.
I know. So, not that I'm rushing. I don't really mind. I think you're free anyway. You said it before that you don't really mind too much either.
Yeah,
but
I'm good.
Let's transition into talking about the present. So, MCC Rising. This is still linked to the past, but because we're talking about current MCC Rising as well, we're kind of just going to bundle the two together, if that's good with you, Laqqy.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Your MCC Rising application isn't public. I don't think it's anywhere, right? It got deleted.
No, Mako and Nari deleted it from everything. And we tried to reach out to him multiple times to ask him for it, and he just ignores us.
Do you not know why they did it?
No, he doesn't talk to us anymore.
Oh, what, any of you?
None of us.
Who was? I had a sheet that told me, because I think you guys. Oh god, it's gonna be insult if I'm wrong. Didn't you guys place 7th or something, right?
Yes, we did. I placed, I think, 15th or 16th individual, and my team came 7th.
Let me find this sheet quickly because I wanna. I can't be able to look for it. Just tell me who. Oh, here we go. It's here. All right, you had so Mako Nari.
Mako and Nari.
Marbar and tomato bisque soup.
Yes.
So how was that team formed?
So at the time, Tomato was my partner. I don't really want to talk to her out of respect for her, because I don't think she wants me to talking about her. But we were together at the time. And Mako, I didn't even want to apply to MCC Rising at first. But Mako Nari reached out to me and was like, dude, we need to make a team. Like, just for the fun of it. I'm like, you know what? You're right. We do just need to make a team for the fun of it. Because I don't expect that we're going to get in. But, like, as long as we have fun with it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And, it was just the two of us at the beginning. He's like, dude, who else should we invite? I'm like, you know what? My girlfriend streams, and I invite her. And then it was the three of us. And, like, I think, like, we had a call that lasted, like, for 5 hours. Just talking about who we could invite to our team. And about 2.5 hours in, when we had no one, she was like, you know what? Let's just invite my friend Marbar. And that's how our team was thrown together. It was very lazy. Like, there wasn't any thought put into it. And that's my biggest regret, is not having put a little bit more thought into the event, like in who was going to, like, be on our team.
But then
I could go ahead.
Oh no, go on. No, I said that. I'll say my thing.
If I could go back and make a team with my friends instead of being a little simp and inviting the girlfriend to the team, I think I would, just because I'm a very competitive player and no one else on the team was competitive, and I think that's what a lot of, like, my cockiness comes from, is just I'm not cocky, but in comparison to how my team was playing, I just come off as, like, arrogant in my VOD. I think that's Yeah, go ahead.
Question. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off. My bad. It's just because, yeah. If you had made a team with just your friends,
right,
you wouldn't have made the same application video. So would you have even got into MCC Rising with a different team? That's the question.
I do genuinely think that if we had, a different team, I still think that we would have gotten in. Just because the magic between, the idea that I had, and not to sound cocky, it wasn't entirely my idea.
Yeah.
But I did suggest it. But between that and the editing that Mako's girlfriend did, her name's Naomi, by the way. Okay. Between my idea and Naomi's editing, I still think that we would have made it in, personally. But who knows? That's a universe that, it didn't happen. That's just not how it went down, so who's to say?
Everything happens for a reason in my eyes.
Exactly.
And then deciding whose channel it went up on, was that because they were already on a YouTuber, or was it because they formed a team, or was it just screw it, we'll go on your channel?
Because Mako's girlfriend edited it.
Oh, okay.
He uploaded it to YouTube, but I uploaded it to Twitter because I had the most reach on Twitter. I think at that point, everyone on our team had, like, less than 500 followers, and I had, like, 2,500.
Wait, so we decided on Twitter, then?
No, my account got suspended ever since then.
No, Laqqy.
And I didn't do anything. They didn't give us any reason as to why.
Oh no, that sucks. So it's literally nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Because wait, so then how was it in the MCC Rising video then? Rising 2 video?
They just reused footage from the update video.
Oh, so it was parts of it were in the update video. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw parts of it, and it looks like a good application video, to be fair.
It was a banger application video for sure. Even the current applications that are out, like, today for MCC Rising 2, I'd say it even rivals them. I'd say it still would get us in MCC Rising 2.
And the quality has really improved this year as well.
Oh, 100%, dude. I'm terrified. The competition is so much more fierce this time.
So, a little bit more about us, MCC Rising, and we'll get into this. We're not going to go too much into talking about MCC Rising itself, because we're going to be talking about, like, advice for this present one. But in regards to, like, the tournament, I'm assuming I know the answer to this, but I kind of just want to hear you say it. It's like, I'm assuming it was an unforgettable experience, right?
You say that, but I forget everything.
Right.
Not in, like, an ego kind of way at all. Not in, like, I'm above this event kind of way. Just because it was so stressful, and I have, like, stress-related memory issues.
Oh, okay.
That the entire event, like, from being announced to the very end of it, is just a blur for me.
Well, are you glad you played?
Am I glad I played? if I could go back and disqualify myself from like, or like just.
If you could go back as you now, there we go.
If I could go back as me now, things would have gone a lot better for sure.
There we go.
But as it stands, I wish that I did not participate in MCC Rising 1 just because of how different my life is because of it. Both in positive and negative ways.
Okay, interesting. But you'd still recommend people applying for it though, right? Like, I know
100%. But the event itself is great. The Nox crew are great. Like, everyone involved is amazing. It was just my personal stance and like my personal experiences I wish that I could take back.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, moving on to this current MCC Rising then, MCC Rising 2, even 2 years later. If you remember from my MCC Rising application, I have predicted this. I have full on predicted this. Yep, I said it last year that there was going to be no MCC Rising last year, and I said this year multiple times, including on the podcast, so there was recorded proof that MCC Rising was going to be this year. I even said that I had a feeling it was going to be... Oh, yeah, go on.
I don't know how you did that. You must be like a wizard or something, dude.
Bro, I predicted the last MCC Rising as well, like unintentionally. I made a concept team and said, oh, like, imagine this team going to MCC Rising. And then a week later, so be it, they announced MCC Rising. So that was...
I'm going to need you to call MCC Rising 3 right now. When's it going to happen?
Another 2 years. I reckon I'm doing it every 2 years. Assuming MCC is still around.
It's a safe prediction.
I'm saying in 2025 it will be in September.
You think MCC will still be around in 2025?
If they add more new people, which is a hot take.
Yeah.
I reckon if they start introducing a few more new people to the event and teams don't start kind of blending in with each other, I reckon MCC could, and they need a new game. So like, I know it's hard. I know it's so easy to say, oh yeah, just add a new game, but I feel like they do need something different.
No, I get that. They need to keep the identity of MCC, but like have a new roster. That's going to be hard to replicate.
Well, not a complete new roster. Just start inviting new people. Like
that's what I mean. Well, not completely new. Like of course, they're probably still going to have like long term.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. But who knows? Like, the big creators now might not be the big creators in 2 years, you know? There might be, like, even just from MCC Rising 1, a lot of the creators have grown to the size of MCC competitors.
Yeah, like, I have to, like, this here because it got sent to me. So, like, going through this, so Super Eloise works for Nox Crew. Becky and Mon, are they in MCC or no? I know they're a big creator.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Owen Juice is also in MCC. AIMZ in MCC. Heikey Hate Me has grown quite a bit. Max GG's has grown quite a bit. I know Booster was already quite big, but Boofsa, Dev, they're all quite big as well. Jojo Solos is in the main event. Blushy's in the main event. You know, and Sorry and Speed Silver are doing really good for themselves. I know they were already doing good for themselves, but it's a case of that. So it's like a lot of like MCC Rising applicants have, and I know they were kind of already in with that kind of community, but they now are in MCC or a part of Nox Crew, and it's like they've really kind of grown quite well. But quickly back to my application, sorry, and then we'll get into talking more about you and about about your advice and stuff for MCC. So our application is a little bit similar to yours, kind of a rerun of history, but from me is so I got invited to a good few teams. So obviously for the last MCC I applied with the Blue Bedrockers. We made a really good video, really high edited, really great, but looking back on it, we had numbers in the application, which we had, and we didn't really show too much of a team dynamic, but then we did have the predictions. I showed the predictions and stuff, it just wasn't enough to carry us. This year, I got invited to a good few teams, and I asked Potato Pie, but he said he wanted to make a Blue Bedrockers rerun. I don't really Bedrocks anymore. And so I got invited to a few teams. I said, I'll happily join, but I really want to make a PowerPoint. What PowerPoint? I said, like, it's not been done before. No one did it last year. I think apparently there was a team that did it this year. There's like Sapphire slideshows or something, which is, I mean, I want to hope that they had the idea anyways. It did come out on the last day, so I'm not going to say they copied us, but like, you know, purple PowerPoint.
But they definitely copied you, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, their one is really different to ours. That's the thing. Like, there's one. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm sure it's just an honest mistake.
Yeah. So a lot of people, like, I'm not saying a lot, like a few people, and it's like, oh, like, you know. So and then one person who were meant to be on our team. I'm not going to say their name, but they didn't. Chose not to be on our team, and because they were contemplating, and they said, oh, like, I kind of want to stand a chance. I was like, yeah, that's fair. I said it to them. I said, if you want to have fun and stand a chance, then go ahead. But if you really want to try for it, probably best not to join my team. So I contacted Rory Animates. I'm like, Rory, have you got an MCC Rising team? He's like, no. I'm like, do you want to be on an MCC? He's like, sure, what we got? So I'm going to be making a PowerPoint. And then I paused and I was like, I messaged him and I paused. I was like, oh no. And then he's like, sure. I was like, okay. So we got Rory, and then I contacted one of my mods, Sinjin. He does a bit of content here and there. He taught me how to speedrun, which I mentioned 3 times in the PowerPoint. And I messaged him and I'm like, I'm like, do you want to, I can't remember the message off the top of my head. I'm like, yo, Sinjin, Sinjin, need someone from MCC Rising, do you want to join a team? He's like, no, I don't think I stand a chance of getting in. I was like, that's cool. I said, but do you want to join my MCC Rising team? He's like, oh, you know, like, I just don't think I don't think I'll get in, so I don't want to run chances. I said, that's really cool. Do you want to join my MCC Rising team? He's like, okay, screw it, I'll join then. I said, all right, perfect, thank you. So Sinjin joined, kind of like, I guess, with your thing of you not wanting to and then ended up joining, but different scenario.
Yeah.
And then me and Rory were in a call for like 2 hours looking for a fourth person, and contacted a few people. Everyone had teams, blah blah blah. And then Mooney Tay, someone we know from Crown Quest, actually, Rory contacts her. She's like, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, okay, sick. And she was like contemplating. So I went to her stream and I was watching her. I said, I really like her vibes, and I subbed to her, not to bribe her, contour to popular belief, but like just kind of like to content. She's like, oh, you know what, you're trying to bribe me, screw it, I'm in. So I was like, all right, cool, that works. So then like the next day, Mooney was going on holiday. So this was the Thursday. Mooney, oh no, it wasn't. It was the Thursday. So Mooney was meant to be going on holiday. So I woke up at 7 a.m. in the morning, because she's on a different time zone, to voice call with her and record her lines for the PowerPoint. Because I whipped up the PowerPoint myself. Obviously, I screen shared it and let people change it how they wanted to. But also, so I'm only telling the story now because I've told it on stream, but I kind of want to put it into the podcast. So wake up thing, and I'm like, we're doing her PowerPoint. I'm like, okay, what do we do for your slide? And she couldn't think of anything. So I said, oh, you mentioned you have ADHD, because we was on a call the night before and we were just laughing. We like instantly like matched vibes, which was great. We interacted before, but not like that. And so I'm like, you have ADHD, so we put down ADHD, and she's like, so then I added the bounce animation to it, and we sat there in a call for like half an hour just laughing at the bounce animation, because we just found it funny. And then she's like, I said, that's it. And she's like, what? I was like, that's it. We can just keep that for your side. She's all right. So we record her stuff, and then we pre-recorded like acting lines for something, because she was meant to be going on holiday. And then so be it. I go to work and I get a message at work. My holiday's been postponed till tomorrow because like a warning or whatever. So we can record tonight. I'm like, no way. So I go home from work, instantly jump in a VC, don't stream, jump in a VC with Rory, Sinjin, and Mooney. I think we recorded 6 different times. I load up the PowerPoint on my PC, screen share it to them, load up OBS like I have now, and hit record. And we talked about this before the podcast. I literally only have my mic and desktop audio recorded. I don't have split audio or anything. I hit record, 6 different tries, 6 different things said every single time. And on the 6th try, it was like, this works, this is good. And then I slapped it, and it was like, crap, the PowerPoint needs to be in Minecraft. They say it needs to be in Minecraft. So it's like, what do? We just go in front of a board on MCC Island, slap the PowerPoint on it, and then bang, it's in Minecraft. So I know there's not much moving, but that was essentially how we made our application.
If it works, it works.
Well, I mean, if we get into MCC Rising, I mean, it's great. So
exactly, and you're gonna get in, bro. Trust.
I mean, I think it'll be carried by the original idea. I think we made a few mistakes though, of like, we mentioned other events, which I know apparently isn't taken too well. So I'm just kind of hoping it's taken all right. But we'll see. It's just a fun little podcast. It's a fun little PowerPoint, and like I told you before the podcast as well, and it's a mentality we have. It's either like, oh my god, we got into MCC Rising by making a PowerPoint, and that proves to people that you don't have to do stupidly high all the time. Don't have to do stupidly high edited videos, even though they look amazing. By the way, all the applications look amazing. You don't have to do that. Or we didn't get in, but we only did a PowerPoint. Because we've all got that mentality of like, we think we stand a chance, but it's also a case of like, we're not going to get our hopes up. And by the time this podcast comes out, we most likely will know as well. So this podcast could be coming out, lads, and I could already know if I'm in MCC Rising, or you guys can know as well. So we'll see. So I'm just gonna be editing and smiling while looking at the email of like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. But yeah, as for you and your experience with MCC Rising, we kind of brought you on to talk about like, I mean, you said you wanted to mention MCC Rising. So what in specific did you want to talk about regarding it? Like out of like my questions.
Nothing specific. Like, I know I saw that there were a few like Twitter questions that you had asked that I was hoping to answer, that if you wrote them down.
Yes, there was only really one from regarding MCC Rising from #you, but I saved Twitter questions until the end. But I can ask it now if you want.
I really don't have anything specific that I want to talk about Rising.
Advice. She said you had you made a whole video talking about advice for MCC Rising. So let's cut the application part. Let's talk about MCC Rising itself. There you go. I thought you was gonna talk about stuff like that. So.
Well, okay, so one thing that I didn't mention in the video that I think should be obvious, but I hope isn't. I hope that this is obvious and that people already know. I hope that people actually start to make content around Rising. Like, if whoever gets into Rising, if you don't like make MCC content while you're training, like for example, like how Owen did and how he like uploaded training server videos. If you don't do that and you're not like capitalizing on being in the event, I feel like you're gonna regret it. Because I know I certainly do. I certainly regret not making, YouTube videos or like TikToks about being in MCC Rising. I do now, after the event is over, but like the event's already over. So it's not as, searched for. It's not as, it's not now.
No, I get that. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, it's like,
yeah,
you're not in, like, unless you obviously get in again because you made a new application, but the chances are low.
Yeah.
Like, we both know that for you because you've already been in it. Hopefully, maybe you might get in, but the chances are slimmer. It's a case of like, in regards to being in MCC Rising, people are going to be looking for content from those in MCC Rising. So you making content about MCC Rising before either people are announced or even not being in the event. That's why it's not going to do as well as if I made the video or something.
Yeah. If you make content around being in MCC Rising, you have a much bigger chance of being in the main MCC. Because every single person who was from Rising 1 who's in the event now made a buttload of content around being in Rising.
I said this on stream as well. I said the thing is, right, because I want to get into talking about this as well. I know I said about like drama being off the podcast, but it's not drama regarding either of me or you, so it's fine. About this whole big creators can't play in the event, grr. Like, I said this before. I said this on stream and kind of links to this. Well, I'll let you say your piece on that in a second. It's like that build up, because I'm assuming they're going to announce teams 2 weeks before, because then it gives those creators who are in MCC Rising to make a name for themselves 2 weeks before they play in a tournament, right? I said this on stream. I said the thing is, once those teams gets announced on Thursday and Friday, that 2 weeks, if you stream every single day and you stream entertaining content, that is when people are going to pick who they're watching for MCC Rising, because most people, and this is a big assumption, have 2 monitors. So during MCC Rising, if I'm not in, I'm going to have 2 different monitors open with 2 different streams, 2 different POVs, and I'll have a few in the background to support my mates if any of them get in. But like, let's just say me and you are in the event, right? We're on different teams, obviously. Fans of yours, say you're averaging like 500 viewers, natural. Yeah, let's just pretend like you're this crazy big viewer, like streamer, and you're in MCC Rising, one of the large ones that people don't want. People watch you and they love your stream, but during that 2 week build up, they know they're already going to watch you because they're a fan of you, but they're going to be browsing around to look at who else might be entertaining or maybe a different POV to watch. And during that 2 weeks, that is when you truly make a name for yourself, and you make videos, like you said, you make TikToks, you stream every single day with MCC Rising in your title to capitalize on the viewers, and you be entertaining to capitalize on them. And then when it comes to event day, they're going to be like, all right, left monitor, Laqqy, guaranteed, love that guy. Right monitor, Insane Orbits was really, really entertaining. I really enjoyed his content. Let's watch his POV as well. And then bang,
exactly.
That's when you entertain. And then obviously after MCC Rising, that's when you capitalize. But the case of people sticking around isn't always going to be there. That's 100% certain anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But that build up for the 2 weeks, like you mentioned in your video, you're probably going to be averaging, if you do things right, 100, 200, 300 viewers. The event itself,
precisely, you're
going to average a crap ton of viewers. And after the event, that's when your viewer count drops. But you still capitalize on bringing most of the viewers who were interested in you in the build up to your, especially with MCC Island being around now, you know?
Yeah, there's more like a tight-knit community around MCC with Island being out now, for sure.
Alongside that though, that advice, so like with the event itself, like being in the event, have you got any advice for that?
Don't stress too hard. I said this in my little tips and tricks video. Whatever you need to calm your nerves before the event, just do that. Like if you need to meditate or like do yoga, like take deep breaths, man. It's the more you stress, it's going to like show. There's no way that you're going to be like not stressed during MCC. So you just have to like minimize what you're feeling. Because being stressed is just going to lead to bad decisions. It's going to lead to bad call outs. It's going to lead to, being emotional. You don't want to be too emotional during MCC. Leave that until after the event. Like if you got to break down and cry, at least try to break down and cry after the event's over, just really make sure that you're mentally preparing for how big this is. Because a lot of people realize that MCC Rising is a big deal. I don't think that they realize how big of a deal it is. Because once you're in MCC, people are going to remember that you were in MCC forever. So you need to be able to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward and presenting yourself in like a likable way, so that people like even if they didn't specifically watch you, they'll still be like, oh yeah, that Laqqy guy, yeah, I remember him from Rising, he was pretty cool. And then in the future, if they're ever bored, they see that you're live, or they see a YouTube video and they're recommended of yours, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll check him out, he was kind of cool. Whereas if you were like me in Rising 1 and was kind of, emotional and stressed and kind of a dick, people are gonna be like, oh, that Laqqy guy from Rising, yeah, he didn't deserve his spot. Just do whatever you can to put your best foot forward and entertain. Just have a good time. Like it's just, Rising is a memory that you'll never forget. So you want to make it a good memory.
Yeah,
period.
Exactly. And that's kind of what our team are saying. Like, of course, we'd love to win the event, but we're gonna be real. We're not exactly the. I mean, to be fair, I really do really well in events somehow. I'm quite bad naturally playing, but when it comes to events, I just pop off, and I don't know why. I've done well in like majority of the events I've played in, but we've kind of said, like, as much as it'd be a dream to win, we're not exactly the most craziest of players. So our main goal is just to go in, have fun, be vibey, and just not come last. We just don't want to come
Exactly.
10th. That is all. So rather than like try harding to win, we're try harding not to lose. So
Just try hard to have fun.
yeah, exactly. And we're just kind of gonna vibe and stuff. And it'll be great. And like, you know, all the training streams. I said it as well. If we do get in, I'll be on the MCC practice server trying to get a good ace race time. I'll spend one of the days trying to get a good ace race time against.
So you're
like,
gonna do
CPK.
exactly what I did. Okay.
Oh, is that what you did?
I don't think there was a single day that I didn't stream Ace Race for like 7 hours.
Oh no, it'll be like 1 or 2 days. I want to try and like match Anvenoms or CPK's time. So
Well, I mean, if you need any advice, I do have the Ace Race practice server world record time. Still, it's unbeaten.
wait, it's higher than
so if you ever need
CPK's and
advice-
Anvenoms, really?
Yeah, exactly. It
Oh,
is.
but-
It's go ahead.
No, go.
It is. I will tell you the exact time that I got. I got a 1 minute 57-second run.
Jeez, wait, is that like the ace race map that they do now? Yeah.
Yeah, the practice one, right?
Oh, because your name isn't on leaderboard, so I guess rising applicants get into a different MCC. I don't know. Oh well.
Since it was a non-canon event, they don't keep the non-canon scores on the testing server.
No. I'll try and beat your
Unfortunate.
record. I'll try and beat your record at least. So moving into the last bit of MCC Rising, this is going to be quite a long podcast. I think this actually might surpass the Antvenom podcast, which I never thought we'd do. One more bit about MCC Rising, then we'll move on. Let's talk a little bit about the controversy, because you share the same views I do, as far as I'm aware, assuming by your replies
Right.
on Twitter, that
Right.
big creators in the event, why are people complaining? I made a tweet and I actually predicted it as well, because I quote tweeted Scott's tweet with a screenshot. Another prediction, Laqqy, can you believe it? I was like a bigger creator not applying doesn't increase your chances. So then Scott came out and tweeted that we're put into categories, so a bigger creator doesn't actually affect your chances. So another crazy, right? Like it's like I have inside information. I don't have inside information. Chat, please, lads, please. But what's your take on this goofiness of bigger creator can't apply? Grr.
I think that your size does not determine the amount of work that you put in, and it doesn't guarantee you that you have a good quality application. For example, like, take a look at some of the smaller applicants who have like banger content applications this year, right? And then compare it to, not throwing shade or anything, like application that was kind of, it felt lazy. Like they had good chemistry, but it felt lazy.
Yeah, that's fair.
That their size did not guarantee a quality application. The amount of work that they put in does, and they didn't put in that much work into it. So I don't think that your size should count all that much. The quality of your application should matter way more than your size.
But then assuming they get in,
Assuming that they get in,
does that cause a bit of a question?
well, now that we know that they have the bracket stuff, which I don't think that they did for MCC Rising 1, mind you. I think that if they win their bracket, then that's not that big of a deal, because then the only spot, because the brackets are gonna exist either way. So there's always gonna be bigger creators, assuming that there's a bracket.
Yeah.
So it's not small creators versus big creators. It's big creators versus big creators, small creators versus small creators. So either way, there's going to be a big team in. But like, that's not the point of the event. The point of the event is just to give anyone who hasn't been in an MCC before a shot. It's like, I know a ton of big creators would love to join MCC just as much as a small creator would, So like, if it's something that someone wants to achieve, their size shouldn't disqualify them from wanting to, achieve something. Just because they have found success in one facet, like a lot of views or like a lot of subs or anything, doesn't mean that they've achieved everything that they want to achieve. Like for example, like a personal goal that you can have is wanting to join MCC, and you could have like 1 million subs and still not done that. And the only way that you can see that, participating is through Rising, right? Why are people gonna like be upset if you're gonna like just achieve a goal of yours? I don't see the big creators joining or like applying for like clout or anything, which I see a lot of smaller creators doing low key.
Oh, yeah.
I just see that as them wanting to have a good time, and I don't see any problem with that at all.
So sorry, yeah.
I think that people are blowing it way out of proportion and are kind of gatekeeping Rising, which is not their place to do. Like it is, the only people who should be gatekeeping Rising is the Nox crew.
Exactly.
Period.
And they just let anyone in. They've said it. They
Yeah.
will let anyone in.
Bro, it's all, like I said, it's all about your application. It's all about the quality of your application, not your size.
said this. I know I saw this tweet on Twitter, right? And it was like, oh, why don't the bigger creators just apply for normal MCC? It's just like, that's not how that works. You can't just. I'm pretty sure it's like a big ass wait list to get into MCC, and it's just like this is why my point, my stance on it is like, you know, you just because you're a bigger creator, like you got to be a bigger creator because you're like, it's not your fault that you're good at making content. It's not your fault that people like you. It's not your fault that you're entertaining. So some people are in that stage of where they're apparently too big for MCC Rising, but then too small for MCCs. It's kind of like, how do like, you know, what
like, it's not fair to
make an MCC Risen. Oh, that's entertaining. MCC Risen. Can't wait for everyone in there who has over 500,000 viewers, but like, but can't get into the main event. It's like, that's a bit crappy at that point, you know. And it's like,
exactly.
I think people are just because the thing is, I said this on stream as well. I didn't put this one on Twitter. I said a lot of stuff about this topic, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. It's like, half the people saying this aren't even gonna watch MCC Rising anyways, or it'll be the people who are gonna watch the larger creators. Like, you're gonna go. That's
exactly what I was thinking. Like, the people who complain about this on Twitter are not like MCC community members. They're just creators who want to piggyback off of the success of the event.
But half of them probably haven't even applied. Half the people complaining haven't even applied for the event. So why are you crying?
Exactly.
Like, you know, I understand maybe if you applied and you think it reduce your chances, but it's like, you know, it doesn't. It's proven that. So like, why are you coming out and going, oh yeah, like, you know, my because the thing is, it'll be a case of like, okay, cool, right? I'm complaining that big creators are getting to the event. Let's say 3 teams of big creators getting, 7 teams of smaller creators. Oh, one of my favorite big creators going to the event. I'm going to watch them. Not going to support the smaller creators, but I was complaining that the big creators are going to be in the event. It's like, make it make sense.
Exactly. In MCC Rising 1, a lot of the community backlash was like, oh, there's going to be like 2 actual cool teams to watch and then a bunch of randoms. And now in MCC Rising 2, it's the complete opposite. Is, oh, it's not going to be a bunch of randoms. It's going to be a bunch of cool creators and big creators. Like, it's completely flipped on its head.
But then they'll only watch the cool creators. They won't watch the random.
Like, the only people that got views in MCC Rising 1 were the big creators. Like, people didn't take the time to watch the small creators. And now they're bitching about like, oh, there's not going to be any small creators. Well, maybe that's why.
But like, adding to that, with MCC Rising 1, not sure if looks back at that, saw that the big creators were the only ones getting views, like you said. And it's a case of like, they obviously still want to bring traction and revenue to the event. If they add in a bunch of, in quotation marks, randoms, who all average have like 5 viewers on Twitch, in quotation marks, I hate saying this, but it's true. Like, it's just for the example, sorry. It's like, if and people don't watch the event, then it brings no traction to MCC, and MCC Rising is essentially pointless. It's just not a recreation, but it will be like, viewership wise, might as well just be playing a recreation. These players might as well just be playing a recreation. Not that I support it, but you get what I mean.
It has to be a balance. It has to be a mix of small creators who can profit from the big creators. Like, like you said, like, if everyone's like a 500 sub Andy, and like they, you know, don't bring the traction to the event, no one's going to benefit.
Exactly, not even them, because it's like, and it's a case of as well, is what I'm saying, it's like, in the Discord, because I know there's a Discord, it's obvious that you get invited to a bloody Discord for it. It's like, say I get into a Discord with 2 larger creators, and we just get talking, and these are larger creators who, I don't want to say names, I never like saying names if they're not on the podcast, but say I get into talking to 2 larger creators who average 1,000 viewers on Twitch, and they've never interacted with me before because they didn't know who I was, but then they talk to me, they find me interesting, we bond really, really well, bang, I've then just become cool, or mutuals, with 2 larger creators, and maybe I could be on their stream, or maybe they could be on my stream, or maybe we could collab together, and it's like, that would have never happened if they didn't invite larger creators to MCC Rising, and that's what will benefit. And the thing is, say like, I guess I'll just use you as an example again, say we both get into MCC Rising and you're averaging 1,000 viewers on Twitch, right? We talk, we collab, we bond well, right? We're both streaming at the same time, but you end an hour before I do. You're like, who do I raid? Oh, I've been talking to Insane Orbits recently, he seems pretty cool, bang, raid him. That's just increased like my viewership and my like people knowing me by so much, and that's because we both got into MCC Rising. You have taken that time to support me, whereas if it's all like people who are averaging 5 viewers, it's kind of hard to show support to the smaller creators. Like, it's also like, people aren't looking into it deep enough, and I know I'm really looking into it deep here, but it makes sense. It's like, I can make friends with someone in the Discord, and that can change everything, and that's why most of the people in the main MCC, because they became friends with each other, they bonded with each other, and they all like helped each other out, kind of, you know? The larger creators help the smaller creators, and that's why the larger creators are also there. Not the only reason, but part of it.
That is my biggest regret from Rising 1, is not having taken the time to meet other other people, and because I thought that it was going to happen naturally, like we would all get to know each other naturally, but unfortunately it wasn't how it happened, and you had to actually put a little bit of effort into meeting your competitors, and I didn't do that. But that's another advice. Like, just get to know your competitors, like have fun with them. Like, don't look at it as like a size competition. Like, the big creators aren't only going to stick talking to the big creators. You don't have to like segregate yourselves into like different groups of sizes, just if you get into the event, just talk to your competitors as like equal people. Like, you're all there for the same reason. It's a great opportunity to like you said, like meet a big creator and boost your name up there, even though that shouldn't be your main goal. Of course, it should just be to like make a friend.
Well, yeah,
but,
I'm
like,
just saying it's an example.
No, I know, I get what you mean.
To fight the not supporting allegations.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great opportunity for everyone involved. Just make a bunch of new friends, and with those friends, make content, and then it's a great experience for everyone, even the community, because the community is going to get great content from it.
Exactly. I guess there's still a bit more to talk about MCC Rising, but I don't want to drain it on like the podcast on too long, and there's still a bit more to talk about. So
yeah, that's good.
Let's transition into talking about something you own now, from one tournament to an SMP. 24-hour SMP.
Oh my goodness.
See, something else you're passionate about. Here we go.
Oh yes, baby. The 24-hour SMP is a charity event SMP that we do every, I'd say 4 to 5 months, 4 to 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Where a bunch of content creators, mainly Twitch streamers, a few YouTubers, but mainly Twitch streamers, we all get together and play on an SMP for 24 hours straight. And at the end of the 24 hours, we have a giant battle royale, and the last player standing wins. Which I know, not a groundbreaking idea. I get that, but it is an amazing group of friends. It is an amazing event, and we've raised over $20,000 so far in 3 events.
Ooh, wait, 20,000?
Yeah, $20,000 in the span of 3 events.
Oh my god! And wait, does that include the UHC, or is that just the SMP?
So, 23,000 to be exact.
Including
yes,
UHC.
that does include the UHC. Yes.
Wait, so how many SMPs events have you done? 2?
Well, there's been 4 seasons. The first 2 the first season was not charity event. I paid out of my own wallet to the winners.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a $500 event.
Oh, jeez.
And then I decided, let's just make it a good cause. Let's make it a charity event.
And then that's when the other 2 seasons were charity, and then the most recent one was UHC, which is the one I got to play in.
Well, okay, so there's been 4 SMPs and 1 UHC. So 3 events and then 1 UHC.
Okay, my bad. All right, got you. And then also
you're good.
raised 23,000.
Exactly.
Which is,
you know what we need? We need a Wikipedia so that people can up research on it.
You should do. Why don't you get one set up?
I don't know. I don't know how to make one.
I reckon I could probably. There might be someone you can ask. I'll give you the name afterwards. In case I'm wrong about it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
With that being said, then how did the 24-hour SMP come about? What was the idea behind it? I'm assuming it probably came from Twitch SMP, right? Because you like that. You said you liked that quite a lot. Oh, am I wrong?
No. Well, at first it wasn't going to be an SMP. It was just going to be like a long form Hunger Games. Okay. The only reason that it's called an SMP is for branding, because people like SMPs a lot more than they like, I guess Hunger Games, UHC nowadays.
Yeah.
So I found a way to kind of make a UHC but brand it as an SMP, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just yeah, exactly, 24 hours. It came across, I think I thought of the idea a week after MCC. I was trying to think, I wanted to get my foot in the event door, and I was trying to think of how could I do this in an original way that people haven't done it yet. And then that was when the idea of an SMP that only lasts for 24 hours came about, which again, I know that it's not original or groundbreaking, but
I mean, I think it is. 24-hour SMP for charity is completely original, no?
Oh yeah, no, there's been a bunch of copycat SMPs from it.
Oh yeah, Purity, the first one is what I mean.
Yeah. It was the first one of its kind at the time, but ever since then, there've been a lot of people who have done 24-hour SMPs.
Yeah, but we.
Yeah, no, those are the fake offs. Those are the fake Jordans.
So
the fake Yeezys.
fake Jordans. Yeah. How exactly does it work then? Because like I said, I only really got introduced to it in the one in May, and obviously I was on holiday, so I don't really know too much about it. So with the SMP, I just have a few questions, and you can give me the rundown of it. If you die before the 24 hours up, do you get to respawn? Because I know one of the things was to spawn a warden on someone. which is cool.
Yes, of course, of course. No, during the 24 hours, it's not just about like battle. You can build and like
Can you
achievement
kill
hunt
people
too.
though?
Yes, if they ask you to stop, you stop, but you can kill people.
Oh, that's nice. So at least there's like for anything. Can you speed run? Is like the end open?
Yeah. A whole point of it is to speedrun achievements because we also have an achievement leaderboard.
Oh, okay.
So whoever gets the most achievement points at the very end is like there's two winners from the event, right? There's an achievement point winner and then a final battle winner.
Oh, okay. And then you're in teams of 3, right? Just like the UHC one.
No. Oh yeah, in the UHC, yeah.
Oh no, but
there were
in the
teams of 3.
SMP, were they not? Are they, oh no, because the SMP's announced in 3s, but you solo.
Yes, everyone is free to do whatever they want in the event.
But you can team up until the final fight.
Yes, with anyone, or you can just play like a regular SMP and share everything with everyone, which I find brings about a better sense of community.
And then the final fight, is it like tournament brackets or is it just a free for all?
It is a free for all. Everyone can go at it.
Oh crap! Okay then. So some people can just like stop and go like, no, I don't want to fight, kill me.
Yeah, they can.
Honestly, that's probably something bloody do. And then I'm not sure if I'm allowed to leak this, or you can obviously say no. Is that there's another 24-hour SMP in the works, isn't there?
There is, yes. We brought along Bumpy Jake on the admin team to help out with the event.
And that's someone who
SMP
I want on the podcast as well.
Exactly, 24-hour SMP featuring Bumpy Jake.
That's gonna be
sometime in the next 3 to 4 months.
And can I be in it, Laqqy? Can I be in it?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go. I finally get to play one. I wanted to play it. This is for charity. I've hosted 2 charity events myself in the past as well. But so it came from the idea of you wanting to do your own event, and then the idea of an SMP is because kind of like it's just easier for branding, which is true. Like it brings more traction to the event, and 24-hour SMP really does sound good as well. Like it flows easy on the tongue. So where did the UHC idea come from?
Well, if you're familiar with like how old SMPs used to be ran, they would do like a season and then a UHC, and then like a season then a UHC. But that's like old school, right? You pairing an SMP with a UHC is just like old school branding. Every SMP did a UHC at one point, so I decided we might as well follow suit and just do a UHC as well.
Yeah,
I guess the Twitch SMP also did a UHC, so I guess in that way we kind of are similar. But I mean, it wasn't direct inspiration from Twitch SMP. It was just kind of happened like that.
That UHC was definitely something interesting. I had a good team, which was nice, and we vibed really well.
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't. We didn't really do too well. I died quite quickly. One of my teammates died before the actual thing. There was like, I wish like the totem thing we were told about, because I used my totem because I didn't know we were going to respawn.
Oh,
and then
I didn't know that.
That
but
hurt.
at that point.
Yeah, there's a few things that happened that kind of hurt a little bit, but I still really enjoyed the event. And at the end of the day, it was for charity. It was for a good cause. One of my viewers donated $50. I was like, oh my god.
Your viewer is a W.
It's Avery. They are trans, I believe so.
Avery, you are a W.
There you go, Avery. I think Avery does listen. I think she does actually. Maybe she'll hear that. Who knows? But I said it to her because like I looked and I was like, wait, Avery, you donated that much? Because she also donated to like another when I played an MC Mania Pride. She donated to that as well, and it's just like, oh my god. So she's pretty cool. But I really want to play in the SMP because I just love the aspect of like people buying stuff to give me stuff. And when I found out in the UHC that like people could donate to me, but like it'd be given to everyone, I was like, oh, I really wanted the idea of like getting it for me only.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it would be fair. Because
yeah, of course, yeah. It's just
one of the biggest criticisms is that like viewers with a lot of money, like their streamer just benefits a lot, and it's kind of pay to win in that aspect. So we didn't want the UHC to feel pay to win, so it was just like a group cause.
I think the SMP it doesn't matter because once again it's just for charity. Obviously UHC is different because people are really trying to win, but the SMP like people aren't diehard trying to win, you know?
Yeah, in the UHC the donations were pretty much to like further your like how good you are, or like it was to make you stronger. Like it was a competitive game. But in the SMP, it's more the donations are more so just for fun. Like you can spawn an Ender Dragon or a Warden. Like that's not gonna give you an advantage. It's just gonna create content.
Yeah, it's like and they can give you stuff like an Everite Ingot and stuff. That's really
right.
And it's just for fun. Like it doesn't matter. It's just a fun little event, you know. The
best thing, the Laqqy blocks. I can tell you this right now. The Laqqy blocks are a lot of fun each season.
I really want to play one. I do like it. I know this isn't me trying to like what's it called, guilt trip you into letting me play. Because obviously, if that time comes in, like he's already fit for the event. But like, I do want to play one day. So.
All right. Well, you're in the next one. Like, if you were in the UHC, you're able to be in the SMP if you want.
Let's go. Yes, I've registered my interest, Laqqy. I've registered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But, I mean, the 24 hour SMP definitely isn't as long as the MCC Rising section because it's to talk about, but obviously MCC Rising is a lot different.
Oh, don't worry. I get that.
I mean, is there anything else you want to say about the SMP? Anything you want to touch on? I haven't questioned. Once again, I don't know. I've done my research on it, but like I don't know too much about it because I only know the one from May, and it's kind of hard to do research on it without the wiki page. So,
am I allowed to shout the Twitter out?
Yeah. So I normally give that like at the end of the podcast, but yeah, promote anything.
Okay.
It's your podcast. Promote it. Do what you want.
24-hour SMP on Twitter. 24HR SMP. Check it out and drop a follow so that you stay up to date with the next season. Next season announcements. Holy shit! Cut that out.
No.
The next season's announcements are coming soon, chat.
That is the one time I'm not kind now. I'm keeping that in.
God damn it! Don't you dare, man! Don't keep me stuttering. I suck at stuttering.
Do I actually have to cut out?
You can keep it, I guess.
Oh, thank you. That's the one time. You've asked me to cut something out, and I'll keep it. Not that you've asked me to cut anything out of the podcast. That was the first time you've asked. But I mean,
oh yeah,
like,
no.
If you
this
were
entire podcast that you guys are watching, this is one try. Like we haven't stuttered. You know, we haven't taken awkward moments. You know, this is all just completely natural.
Exactly. We're just so
no
cool.
cuts.
Look at us.
Hashtag first try.
Hashtag first try. So yeah, with that being said, then let's move on to the final thing before the Twitter questions, and that is the future of Laqqy. So, what can we expect from you, Laqqy, going forward?
Probably some Minecraft.
Really?
Hell yeah. I'm trying to get my foot back into YouTube. I realized that, like we talked about, like the artificial growth of 2021 on Twitch was just kind of a lucky thing.
Still doing well.
So I think I'm. Oh well, yeah. I mean, I'm doing well, but I feel like I could be doing better. So I'm gonna get my foot back into the YouTube door. I have a really cool video. It is a Minecraft battle royale simulation, kind of like Speed Silver, and like just like the events that they do. I'm very excited, bro. It's taking me like 3 months to edit this.
Wait, edit what? Sorry,
Have you ever watched Speed Silver's battle royale videos?
I haven't really watched it, but I know about it. Yeah.
Okay, I just have a 100 player battle royale simulation video coming soon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very excited for it.
Oh, cool.
No, you're good.
Yeah, because your MCC Rising video, I know obviously it's an MCC Rising topic, so it did well. It did quite well, didn't it, for views as well?
Well, yeah. Funny story. I actually edited that like a week before the announcements were out because it was being hinted at on the Twitter and in the Discord. So I'm like, if it is rising, this video will probably get a lot of views. But if it's not, then I just wasted this video. I just made this video for no reason.
To be fair, could have uploaded it if it happened next year.
That's true. But the point here is that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You got to take risks as a content creator. If you want them views, you got to take some risks.
And that is why we made the PowerPoint for our application.
Exactly.
It was risky and it might work. Also, yeah, I've just seen your world record ace race. First sub 2 minutes, 4.1k views. Crazy.
Heck yeah.
What was the exact time of that again? I want to see if you remember.
The exact time of the thing?
Yeah.
It's 1.57, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. And Venom's time, the fastest right now out of like CC Rising is like 2 minutes 17, I believe, or 2 minutes 18.
They'll never accept my world record because I might have cheated a little bit.
Oh, there we go. That's why it got cut, because you cheated it.
I might have, maybe a little bit.
But yeah, more about your future. We've moved on from MCC Rising. Stop going back to it, Laqqy. Come on now. I know you love it. So obviously you're gonna get back into YouTube. Any other ideas for YouTube videos outside of that one? Maybe like make one about the 24 hour SMP, like just a highlights reel, or not highlights reel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This next season, I'm gonna be making a lot of YouTube videos off of it for sure. I kind of want to do a podcast myself. I didn't want to like bring this up, but I did.
Bring up. You're fine.
Want to start a podcast around just like maybe just like Twitch, maybe MCYT. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I was thinking about get my foot in the door.
Yeah, do it. I mean, I had literally someone on the podcast, I think, last month, and we were just talking about their podcast. I don't mind.
Oh yeah.
Like I told you, I bring you on the podcast to talk about you. I don't, as long as there's nothing that's controversial or is offensive. Bringing up another podcast, like I told you, this is just a passion project. I'm not worried about rivals.
Like I appreciate you.
Would you have guests on it, or would you just be talking about Minecraft, or both?
Oh, 100% guests. Yeah, of course.
Because this was meant to be talking about Minecraft as well, but I haven't done that since the last year. I kind of just got happy with just bringing people on, because I love talking to people about them. Like I love hearing the different stories and shit. it's like, you know, that's why I kind of opted in. Like, I mean, you know the rundown for the next like 5 weeks after you, I have guests, and then I mean, to be fair, that last one that I mentioned, I've got people interested, but the one I've only booked in until Monday after Rising. Depending on either if I get into MCC Rising or one of my friends get into MCC Rising, I'll probably push that person back a week, which I think they won't mind because it's understandable, and I'll have someone slotting on that Monday to talk freshly about MCC Rising, because that could be great.
Oh yeah.
No, and that'd become a bit of a topic podcast rather than an interview one, but you know, we'll see what happens.
I think you have a very good balance.
I'll make it work. Record on a Monday, upload on a Friday afterwards. It works.
Heck yeah.
And so Minecraft podcast, I'd be happy to come on that. No one's ever invited me on their bloody podcast before, so.
Hell yeah.
And then more YouTube content, more streams, a bit more consistency in streams, or.
I don't know about that one. I think Laqqy might be retiring the good old Twitch streams.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't be
Maybe.
silly.
Who knows? Who knows?
Let's hope not. There we go.
I hope not.
We'll see. Everything happens for a reason, Laqqy, am I right?
Exactly. Things are always changing.
I mean, could do. I'm gonna have hopefully the MCC like players coach me, but I'm more than happy to have a Laqqy coach if I do get into MCC.
Of course, I'm so very open to coaching you.
But talking about it is really boosting my confidence. I don't know. We'll know, won't we, when this podcast comes out, if my confidence should have been boosted.
Hopefully.
Before we end then, I have 2 Twitter questions for you, Laqqy. Pretty easy ones to answer as well. One,
all right, bro, hit me with them.
One of them about MCC Rising. So we'll get that one out of the way. It's from #, and it's, how much do you think MCC Rising helped you grow as a content creator?
Yes, I think that it actually did worse for me in terms of growth. I think I actually, what's the opposite of benefited?
Affected? No.
Opposite.
You're Googling it as well?
Yeah.
Oh, it literally first search opposite of benefit. Opposite. Wait, no, what?
It did more harm to my content creation than it did good.
There we go.
Not in the way that, like, I'm ungrateful for the experience at all. Just in a way that, like, ever since being in MCC Rising, my views of being a content creator have completely flipped, and I've kind of lost interest in it.
Oh, no.
Like, it was definitely was an eye-opener, for sure, in a lot of ways. In terms of, like, numbers growth, it was okay. This is going to sound really weird of me, but I went through my MCC Rising VOD, and I checked every single person that followed me that day, and only 25% of the roughly 25% of the people who followed are still following to this day.
That's not really weird. That's understandable. Like, a lot of people kind of just followed for the moment and saw that, like, that.
It was, well, I don't want it to seem weird that I even checked. Like, I don't want it to seem like it was like
curiosity.
Out of ego
you
or
were
anything.
bored.
It was just like a statistic that I wanted to know.
Yeah, it's just curiosity. That doesn't hurt.
But in terms of numbers, it really didn't do anything for me personally. I had already hit my peak of content creation before Rising. So Rising was just kind of another like little step up. And then ever since then, I've kind of gotten lazy with content. But it showed me that there's always something new. There's always the next step after where you are right now. There's always something more. Right. When I was like at my peak, I didn't think I was gonna get any bigger. You know, I didn't think I would achieve anything more. And then MCC Rising came, and I achieved that, and it was good for my mental, but bad for my content creation. That's what I want to say.
That's fair. I guess to add on to a question quickly that I want to ask as well. It's
yeah, of course.
And I want to make it very clear because I forgot to mention this earlier. I made a tweet about this once again. And I said it that like a lot of people are looking, like you mentioned earlier, as MCC Rising as a business move. And once again, to emphasize the fact I have made a tweet about this, so this isn't me like coming off as just saying this now to cover my own back. It's like the thing with MCC Rising is too many people are looking at it as a business opportunity when people should just be looking at it as to say like, oh my god, I got to play MCC. Like, how cool is that you can turn around and tell people, like you said it, you absolutely love talking about it, and it's so cool to turn around and be like, oh my god, I played an MCC. And too many people are looking at it to boost their numbers. The only reason we're talking about it is because it's curious. Like, I'm allowed to ask. We're allowed to ask.
Right.
It's like, you shouldn't be looking at it as only a business strategy to increase your numbers and become a popular content creator. You should be looking at, obviously, that's a great perk, don't get me wrong, but you should be looking at it as like, holy crap, I got to play an MCC. And
there are 2 types of people who try to apply to MCC. The people who genuinely like Minecraft and the community, and the people who just want to use it as a stepping stone in their content creation career, right? Like, if you just want to like have an easy boost in numbers and you don't really give a shit about Minecraft, yeah, sure, get into MCC Rising.
That'll reflect on your stream.
Yeah, exactly. It will. But like, I'm able to be so like happy about it, even though I do have regrets, because I fucking love Minecraft and the community and the MCC community, and just a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't almost take for granted just how great this community can be.
And I feel like,
you know,
that two types of people also reflects on like applications as well, because
exactly.
I'm not sure if it shows it, but I really want to say like the purple PowerPoints, just because of how silly and blasé the application was. It's like that just shows that we're not try-harding to do it for the numbers. We just want to have fun.
Right.
And that's why there's like a group of people who got in last MCC Rising, where it's like a 2-minute video all recorded from one POV, no cuts. They got in. They clearly weren't doing it for the numbers. You know, they did it because they just wanted to have fun and have a good time, and that's how it should be, you know? But
as much as I love the Nox crew and S Major, I do low-key feel like there's always going to be some sort of favoritism bias.
oh yeah.
They're always going to pick, there's always going to be people who they favorite more than others. And, that's just life. That's not, a fault of their own. That's just how things are.
It's life in general, yeah.
Yeah.
But my question to add on to this then, if you don't mind sharing, is so do you remember if teams got announced 2 weeks before the event last time?
Yes, they did. There was like a 3 or 4 day wait before they were announced, and then it was 2 weeks before.
Oh, so
it was a week and a half.
So you found out the week they got announced?
Yeah, like a few days before. There were a few days that we all had to like keep quiet about it, and that was really hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because obviously you want to be invited to MCC Rising and then brag about it right away, but we had to wait like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so let's just, I know it's a week. Okay, a week and a half. Teams get announced a week and a half before Rising. So how many viewers were you averaging before your team was announced?
Before my team was announced, about 120 to 200.
Okay, so you was already a large creator, give or take, event. So then the build up to MCC Rising, the week and a half. We're gonna do this in sections, so try not to like muddle it. The week and a half before MCC Rising, no streams. How many viewers did you average during no stream?
200 to 300.
Okay, and then MCC Rising?
About 600.
And then the week, 2 weeks after MCC Rising.
Oh, 2 weeks after, I was back to like 100.
But did some of the viewers from MCC Rising still come back and watch?
No, I can't name a single person. The only person who really stuck around has been like Nebular. And like, although he's not active in the stream anymore, like we're still friends. Like we still talk and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like he's the only real like MCC Rising person who's still around. There's other people, like there's this one guy named Todd. I mean, obviously there's people who know me from Rising, but I don't think that there's many people who are necessarily in my community because of Rising. Yeah. More people watch me because I do hardcore now more than anything.
That's fair. And that's I get that perfectly proves the point that like, MCC Rising can benefit you, but like it's not gonna completely benefit you.
It's not gonna make you a good creator. Like if you don't have good content, people aren't gonna stick around. That's not to sound like a dick or anything, but like
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
You can get into Rising, have terrible content. Okay, this is not specific towards anyone at all, but have terrible content. People don't enjoy your content, and they're not gonna stick around just because you were in Rising.
Yeah, you need them. You like I said with the whole 2 week build up, assuming they announce it then. It's like you have to prove to people why they should be watching you and why they should continue watching you afterwards.
Precisely.
The second question then comes from Gloomsy, who I believe is a mod of yours, maybe? Or am I wrong?
Hell yeah, I love Gloomsy. Gloomsy is one of my mods.
So, this is I guess a two-part question. They asked 2 questions on Twitter, but I'm only going to ask one of theirs, but it's like a 2-part one. What is your favorite moment / proudest achievement during your time streaming within the Minecraft community?
I'm proud that I got into Rising, but I'm not necessarily proud of how I did in it. So I'm not going to say that. That's the obvious answer.
Yeah, of course.
I am proud that I was able to participate in Twitch Pride 2022, and I was featured on the Twitch homepage for
I didn't know that. That's sick.
Yeah.
You just failed to mention that, did you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not something that I'm proud of it. Like now that a question is brought up about it, I'm not gonna brag about it. Unless I'm specifically asked.
Yeah, no, it was. It's not bragging. It's you talking about you. Like that's allowed.
Dude, look, I'm so great that honestly, at this point, if you didn't know this about me, then you're fake.
Oh, well, sorry that I didn't do crazy amounts of research on Laqqy. I just assumed you'd tell me on the podcast. My bad. No, we've been recording for an hour and 40 minutes now, so...
But yeah, no, it was a great experience. Like being on the front page, averaging like 2,000 viewers. It was something that it's like just take a step back and like look how far you've come. Like I said, from going from being homeless and recording Clash of Clans on my tablet to being on the front page of Twitch was definitely my proudest moment.
And then great, would that come under your a proudest achievement as well, or?
I guess my proudest achievement is 24-hour SMP.
Yeah, I reckon that's a good proud achievement.
Yeah.
You deserve that. That's a good answer.
But I'd say MCC Rising is a close second or third for sure.
I mean, I think just getting into it, you don't really have to count the both of playing it
Yeah.
and getting into. I think getting into alone is like, because you had to come up against like 3,000 other applications and only 10 were getting in.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I feel really bad for saying it, but I so hoped if we get in, we're not a sub. Yeah, it's gonna be so sad if like you be getting, because I think they do, because I'm not sure if they did it through Discord DMs or emails last time, but they're doing it through emails this time. And they said they're gonna email, and if I get that email and I'm like, oh my god, and like, yeah, but you're a sub, it's gonna be no, like we're there, but we're not there, you know.
I mean, you still should be proud of it.
Well, proud. Don't. I'm not saying I won't be proud. It's just that it's just, you know. Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
here?
I do get what you mean.
Yeah,
yes.
like I'm still proud that we got chosen, but it's like a case of like it just would have been nice to actually chosen for the main 10. Like you're that close. You know, you've made
I
it.
totally
you
get you.
made it, so. But with that being said, sadly, Laqqy, this brings the end of the Inside Minecraft podcast.
Damn, we did a lot of rambling today, didn't we?
Yeah, I told you it happened, didn't I? I told you we're just gonna waffle. I literally predicted it. I said, but you give me the vibes that we're just gonna waffle, and I said this before.
Waffled.
I said this before on the podcast. That's why I absolutely love it. It's because me and you have interacted before. We've never really interacted on a VC. I've been in your streams
So
a few
true.
times, and you're
So freaking true.
and it's like, because I'm so good at talking to people, it's like you'd think we'd been talking every day for the last 2 weeks. But this is the perfect opportunity, and I don't really know why I leave it to the end. I guess it's just the outro part, for you to kind of promote everything, anything you want, within reason, of course. Like any of your socials, any of the 24-hour SMP socials, anything like that is completely your stage.
All right, gang. You can find me on Twitter at LaqqyLOL. You can find me on YouTube at Laqqy. And you can find me on Twitch at Laqqy with 3 Qs. But you can also find that subscribe button right down below, where you can hit subscribe to follow the podcast.
Oh my
If
god.
you're not already subscribed, you're fake. Come on.
You're fake, you're actually so fake.
Come on, do better. Do better.
Do you want to re-promote the 24-hour SMP as well? Just so it's all in one part.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. 24-hour 24HR SMP on Twitter. Stay up to date with 24-hour news. Applications go live soon, so do go check them out if you want a chance to participate.
There we go. Well, Laqqy, you've been an absolutely amazing guest. Thank you so much for finally agreeing to come on. Oh my god.
Thank you, Orbits. Thank you.
I've been waiting. But here we go. This podcast. So. All right.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
No worries. I'd like to assume you've enjoyed it, which is always good.
I have.
But yeah, sadly, this brings the end of the Inside Minecraft podcast. Apparently everything you need to know inside Minecraft. I kind of need to think of a new intro, because this kind of flows. It flows, doesn't it? That's the thing, but it's kind of fake because we're only really talking to content creators. But thank you for watching. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.